Yo, what is up, guys? So we're here to talk about all of the newer patch notes that not really anyone is talking about right now because they just went through. So recently we had the new SMG. We're going to be actually picking it up here in just a second because that gun is absolutely amazing. Probably one of the best guns in the game still. Even after these nerfs, I still think it's one of the best guns. A lot of people have been complaining about it, but it actually recently got nerfed. So we're going to go over a lot of these other patch notes. Plus, building actually got nerfed, especially since SMGs are already meta in the game. Well, they're going to be even more meta with this new update. Keep in mind, all of these patch notes just recently came out, and they're on the official Epic Games page. I'll link it down below if any of you guys want to check it out. But anyways, new SMG, we're picking it up right here. But let's go ahead and go over all of the changes, because it actually just got nerfed. So even though we just got the new Compact SMG, which is the gun that you guys are going to be seeing here, it's the gold one, this thing shreds super fast. It does 23 to 24 base damage. So basically, it comes in two versions of it. It comes in purple and gold. So the purple one does 23, the gold one does 24. But it actually just got nerfed. So anyways, so it got added. You can find it floor, loot chests, supply drops, and vending machines. But we're really here to go over the SMG changes because they actually took a pretty big nerf. So the SMG and the Compact SMG accuracy bonus is reduced from 35 to 15. So we have double, I want to say bloom. It's not really recoil, although these ones are a little bit more controllable versus, like, let's say the ARs in the game. But basically, yeah, they doubled the recoil slash bloom on the SMG and the Compact SMG. It's over double. Anyways, in addition to that, they also did change the SMG damage. It's reduced by 2 all across the board. And keep in mind, with a 2x multiplier when you're getting headshots, that's reducing it by 4 damage every single hit, which can make you maybe need an additional 1 to 2 shots, depending on what their HP is at, to actually finish off the kill. So that's actually a pretty big nerf to SMGs. However, there's a nerf to building, which makes SMGs technically even better. So anyways, the new Compact SMG, which is the new gun that we have right now, that everyone's like complaining about. Really, I've seen a lot of people complain about it. So it's good that Epic Games is acting really fast on this, and it's already getting nerfed during the first day that it's coming out. But anyways, the SMG fire rate has also been reduced, but the Compact SMG damage has been reduced from 23 and 24, which was when it just came out, to 21 and 22. So they reduced the damage across all of the SMGs by 2. And some of you guys might not understand that it is actually a pretty big deal, because again, sometimes one bullet can make a huge difference. And then they also reduced the fire rate from 11 to 10. So it actually fires a little bit slower. And then also, the SMG, Compact SMG, and Silence SMG damage fall off. The range has been reduced from these specific integers, which probably would be better to go into playground mode and go over some of these distances. But basically, on distance, it's just going to be a little bit less effective. So you're going to do less damage depending on how far away some of the targets are. But also, the rare SMG and Compact SMG drop rates slightly reduced, so you're not going to see SMGs as much via the drop rate, but people are going to be picking them up. Anyways, the Slurp Juice change has actually went through. Now, during this gameplay that you guys are seeing right now, there is actually no slurps. Slurps actually got removed because of a bug that people were abusing. It basically let you use infinite slurps, but they're removed from the game. In fact, by the time you're watching this video, they might have re-added them back into the game, but there was a glitch with them. But basically, it gives you up to 75 health or shields or mixture of both, whatever one is needing it. Basically, if you have full shields, it'll start giving you health, and if you don't have health, it will give you health, and if you don't have shields, it'll give you shields, and if you have missing health and shields, it'll fill up your health first, and then it'll go up to your shields, up to 75 total. So it's just a flat buff to the Slurp Juice, but they also increase some of the different supply drop loots. These are adjustments here, so these are, again, supply drops loot. It's actually a little bit better now for certain things. So assault rifles from 25 to 14%, so a reduction of chance for getting explosive out of the supply drops. The explosives have actually been increased by a little bit, so theoretically that could be seen as a nerf to building just in general. And then the Compact SMG to this percentage, which is 14, and the sniper rifles got increased to almost double the chance of getting sniper rifles out of supply drops. And then the minigun has also been increased, and in the supply drops you will not be getting hand cannons, dual pistols, or silenced pistols. Now traps, this is the trap drop. So the launch pad has actually been decreased quite a bit. That's huge. It's like 4 times less chance to get a launch pad. The campfire has also been reduced by quite a bit, going from 33% to 7%. The bouncer has actually been reduced also a small amount, and then removed damage traps, so you can't actually get those off of, again, the supply drops. And then consumables, the shield potion is just down by 1%. Not that big of a deal. The small shield potion down a little bit. The med kit has also been decreased. The slurp juice has actually been decreased. The clinger has been reduced as well. Remote explosives from 10% to 3%. Impulse from 10% to 4%. Chug jug from 7.5 to 2.1. So it's actually a lot more rare. And they also removed boogie bombs, grenades, bandages, stink bombs, porta forts, ambush. Yeah, I think that that's a good change. Like, I don't want to open up a supply drop and then be like, yo, all I got was bandages, right? And then also material drops. They have changed. It used to be like basically 1/3 of chance to get any of the materials, but they just changed it from basically 1/3 of all of them to give you more wood and technically a little bit higher chance to stone. But it's just basically it's reducing the chance for you to get metal by a little bit. But this is the big change, all right? So huge nerf to building, especially since SMGs again are kind of what I would consider the meta of the game, especially with the new SMG, the compact one. It just shreds buildings super fast, especially if you're playing solos. But anyways, a little change over here. So the wood wall, it starts out with a little bit less health. In fact, everything. So the wood wall starts out with 80 health from 100, so that's basically like, you know, one gunshot. That can be a pretty big deal, obviously. And in addition to that, the changes from the other materials, stone has actually started from 80 from 90, so again, everything's just reduced a little bit, except for, I guess, technically metal in this aspect. But metal technically got a buff here, but it's really not that big of a deal. But anyways, the wood max health from 150 from 200, so that's like a pretty big decrease from the wood's health once it's fully built. And then the metal wall max health from 500 from 400. So metal got a buff over here. So metal, a little bit better, but it's a little bit more rare technically through the supply drops. Not really that big of a deal, but just in general, like wood is like what pretty much most people use anyways when you're building. But anyways, also some small changes from the safe zone. So you can see the safe zone to wait time from 120 from 150. So the game's a little bit faster in this aspect, which I guess is kind of nice over here. And also they added sprint by default options, so this is actually kind of nice. I personally want to try it out later tonight, which just makes it so you can just enable instantly sprint versus like the auto sprint technically starts you off as like basically just walking straight forward when it's auto, and then you have to push run again. It's a nice little like quality of life. It's not really gonna, I think, affect gameplay too much. I mean, if you want to stop running, you just do anything, right? But also, newly placed buildings will appear in a different color while players are still overlapping the structure. There's a small other changes over here that I just felt like was unnecessary. But the pickaxe damage against enemy and ally player built structures increased from 75 and 150. So basically, again, that's a nerf to building if you're using a pickaxe to destroy other people's stuff, but sometimes it can be a little bit helpful. There's a small little change to Nintendo Switch. There's a lot of other bug fixes that I'm not really going to mention because they're just like bugs. They weren't supposed to be intendedly into the game anyways. Collision issues, bullets and projectiles to be blocked by invisible collision. That's a pretty big bug, but yeah, you know, when bullets get blocked by invisible things, that's obviously not intentional. So maybe those times where you're dying, it'll happen a little bit less now with this new change. But anyways, now I kind of want to just briefly talk about what I think about the new SMG. I'm just going to go back a little bit here because it's just taken from my bottom of the scope. Over here, I want to give you guys my thoughts because while I was streaming last night, a lot of you guys came in and wanted to know my thoughts on the new SMG. Do I think it's OP? In fact, a lot of YouTubers are saying that this gun broke the game. It's like even some YouTubers that I would feel like they normally don't clickbait, dude. Like people, oh my gosh, most overpowered gun ever in Fortnite. I don't know. I wouldn't say that it's the most overpowered ever, like, you know, weapon in the entire game of Fortnite. However, I do want to say that it is probably the best SMG, and in additionally, with the changes, because even though we're only changing the damage integer by 2, so technically it is getting nerfed. I've seen a lot of people complain on Reddit as well as just in the like community when I was streaming this last night. Whenever, you know, someone would come into the stream, they're like, hey, what do you think of the new SMG? I would say, you know, I think it's pretty good. I don't think it like makes it so broken that they have to remove it. They could just change the fire rate, which they already did, and the damage integers. But I think the main problem that people are, you know, frustrated with is just the amount of times that building is getting nerfed, because that's what separates the player skill gap in the game. And when you add things like, for example, like C4 or clingers into the mix, especially when you're doing like, you know, squads, when you die to like an explosive, sometimes it feels like you really couldn't do too much, right? Because like, oh, the guy just threw too many C4 and then like one of them exploded, your building's gone. But I want to say that, like, I don't really want to say that you just need to get good, but there are times where you can kind of play around with it a little bit more. But again, there are times where I will even admit that I get frustrated when I die to explosives. However, with the new SMG, it does shred buildings quite fast. However, the reload time on the gun is quite long. It's like 2.2 seconds. So you're supposed to just be able to attempt to build, especially with how meta triangles are, basically little pyramids. You trying to utilize those to block additional shots or putting another ramp can definitely help kind of deal with it. But because the magazine size is large, that again kind of creates people being a little bit frustrated with it. But I mean, again, with the other changes to the building where they've reduced all of the HP, not only by 1/4, because remember, wood's like the primary building material that majority of people use, and because it doesn't have 200 HP, it's at 150, and on top of that, when you straight like first build it, it's going to be at 80, going back to the patch notes over here. It's going to go, again, from 100 to 80, and that's basically across the board one like bullet. So that one bullet might go through, and then you're going to be taking another. I mean, look how fast that thing shreds. This gameplay you guys are seeing is like pre-nerf, although, like I said, I did also play throughout the night, and even though I do have gameplay of like the nerf, it doesn't really change too much. Sometimes it's going to be one bullet, but like the thing has 50 shots. So I understand the frustration that people are having, but at the end of the day, I think it is probably the best SMG in the game. In fact, I don't think you could argue it's not the best SMG as of right now. It is definitely one of the best guns in the game, and especially since SMGs are so meta. But do I think it broke the game, and am I gonna quit Fortnite because people are like, dude, I'm quitting Fortnite because of the new SMG? Like, I think that's a little bit of overreacting to it, but you guys can let me know how you feel about it. Like I said, I think it's good. However, I think just all across the board, people are just frustrated with, I guess, the skill gap, because again, building is what separates players, and when you keep on introducing things that make it much easier for people to shred down your buildings, and you're nerfing building even more, it's going to make people get a little frustrated that would be on, like, I guess, the lower percentage of players. Keep in mind, guys, that casuals will always outnumber the people that are really competitive, so they want to kind of cater towards the casual audience, because at the end of the day, there's more casual people than competitive people in the game. But that's my personal thought. You guys can let me know yours down below. Do you guys think the new SMG is broken? Is it overpowered? I think it definitely is one of the best guns. It is definitely a little bit overpowered, but I wouldn't say it's really annoying to the point where like it's so like aggravating every time I run into it, right? I don't know if you guys remember the guided missile launcher. That was something that I really disliked, because when you're playing squads and one person is using a guided missile and another person is pushing you, it's very difficult to do very much. You have to time things very, very, very specifically, like look at that. These guys are bots in 50 vs 50. But anyways, like I said, those are my thoughts. Let me know yours down below. I feel like I'm ranting on longer than I need to, but that is the new changes in 5.1. Basically, huge nerf to building, as well as small little changes like the Slurp juice. But the new SMG already nerfed, so hopefully this will make some people happy. I don't think it's gonna really make people like say, all right, you know, the new SMG is trash now. Like the nerfs aren't enough to make people not want to pick it up. It's still the best gun. But anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, drop a like on it. And if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button to see more discussion videos kind of like this, as well as updating you guys on what has changed with Fortnite. But thanks for watching. I'm signing out.